Another episode is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbooking app. Not only is it safe, but it is secure and reliable. And for all the first-time users out there, if you use the promo code MOATS, you will receive up to $1,000 in deposit bonus money. So, Deke, tell them all to stop wasting time, download the app, and use the promo code so they can get an opportunity to make a little money. We talked about how we're expanding, we're continuing to just grow, do some things that's fun. And it's the off season. I said, you know what, man, let's drop a little fun segment right here. All right. And with this segment, we're going to talk about we're going to first react to Redbox. Shout out to Redbox. They're still booming, doing what they do. Redbox, for those that don't remember.
Are they booming still?
I still see them. They're still out there. For a fact, they're still out there. So for those, because we do have some younger people that might not be aware what Redbox is. Redbox is like it's Netflix, except it's like an actual place. It's not digital. You go to your local grocery stores, your Kroger's, your Giant Eagles, your Farm Freshes. They typically sit right out front the entrance, big like red vending machine. But it's a vending machine for DVDs. And you can just rent whatever DVDs you want to rent from there, right? So Redbox yesterday released their top 10 football movies. Top 10 football movies. And their list is this. We'll read it off, and after that, we'll, just give our little quick reaction to this thing. But for their top 10, they had Rudy at number 1. For those that don't know, I mean, everybody should know what Rudy is. The little undersized, never appreciated, never got the opportunity kid that was at Notre Dame, worked his way, and then he gets on the field, does his thing. Offsides, but either way, it was cool little story. Then you have Remember the Titans, obviously with Denzel Washington. People know that movie. It speaks for itself. Number 3, they had The Blind Side, which is obviously the movie about was it Michael Orr, who was the left tackle for the Baltimore Ravens, played at Ole Miss as well. Number 4, they had We Are Marshall. We know what We Are Marshall is. Obviously about the plane crash and how the team, just rallied around and picked up the pieces from that. At number 5, they have Friday Night Lights. Shout out to Booby Miles, one of my favorites. Then at number 6, you got Any Given Sunday. Jamie Foxx, Al Pacino, LL Cool J. Number 7, another classic, Varsity Blues. At number 8, you got Draft Day. Obviously, we know what that's about with Kevin Costner. Number 9, Jerry Maguire. You know Jerry Maguire. Show me the money. And then at number 10, they had Little Giants. So just a quick recap. They had Rudy at 1. Remember the Titans at 2. The Blind Side at 3. At 4, they had We Are Marshall. 5 is Friday Night Lights. 6, Any Given Sunday. 7, Varsity Blues. 8, Draft Day. 9, Jerry Maguire. And 10, The Little Giants. So I guess for me, man, my first initial reaction to that thing, I'm not a fan of Rudy being that 1.
No way.
I know.
Yeah.
I know people love the underdog story.
1. No way.
I'm not a Rudy guy. The story is cool.
Number 2 should be number 1. Remember the Titans is number 1, hands down. See, it's not even a question.
You say that.
No.
I like Remember the Titans, but this is my issue. Storyline, yes. Non-football acting, yes. You look at the actual football that's being played in that. Oh my God, it's
dude!
Bad,
I haven't
bro.
seen it for a minute.
It's bad.
I haven't seen it for a minute. I might have to rewatch.
Just look. Go watch the backside Georgia reverse. If that man's running that ball like that, he's going to be in the ambulance. That's all I'm saying, man. It's that simple. All right. But Remember the Titans is an awesome movie, though. The storyline and the fact it's a true story based on, was it T.C. Williams High School? That's in Virginia, actually, as well. Shout out to them. Man, but that was definitely a good movie. A powerful movie, too, when you think about, which is kind of crazy, the similarities, what was going on back then and how some of that stuff is still, from a racial tension standpoint, is still prevalent today. But how sports was the great equalizer. Sports was what people rallied around. And that's kind of what we talked about as well, how just sports can help you look past people's differences and find your common ground. You can find why we are together and things like that. So it's a dope movie, though, man. But
so what's your one?
So for me, my 1 is Any Given Sunday. I love Any Given Sunday. I think the acting was great. I thought the storyline was great, and the actual football acting was great, just across the board. And obviously you have real athletes in there. You had LT that was in there, man. And, don't drop me, I'm worth $1 million. It's one of my favorite parts of the movie, man. It was a linebacker dealing with concussions and stuff like that. I don't know if you saw that, but
bro,
yeah. So
hold on. So the only movies I've seen on here
Yeah.
Blindside, Remember the Titans, and I think Little Giants. Was there one on?
Okay.
I think that was it out of all the ones. So like, I don't have the best reaction to any of this. Those are the only three I've seen. So I actually feel like I need recommendations, or maybe just to hear your top 5 list, so I could watch and be like, all right, should some of these be in the top 5?
No doubt. So I give you my top 5, but I will say this: for a top 10, just if you're getting introduced to football movies, this is that top 10 list is surefire. You can't go wrong with
those. Are all good. Maybe just the order is switched a little bit.
It's the order, right? If you had to make a pantheon of top movies, top football movies, these are going to all be top 20 picks. Okay. So you're not wrong with this list. For me, because I've seen all of these movies multiple times, I'm able to say, okay, this is what I really like about this compared to other ones. And that's why my list is a little bit different. I'm only going 5 deep because honestly, like I said, you could make a legit list of 20. Like even on my list of 5, it's what I think I only have one up here that's different than their top 10 list. But I could have easily added multiple movies and made a completely separate list of movies.
They snubbed someone. They snubbed the movie.
Yeah, for the top 10, but it's personal preference. That's the thing. Like when you talk about these style of movies, a lot of people are upset that Brian's song isn't up here. Brian's song, that a lot of people feel like that should be the number one sports movie.
I did see that. Yeah. I saw that in school though. That's not something I would necessarily consider in my top 10.
But see, people love the story behind it. They love because it's a real movie, the dramatic, it was a good movie, and people value that. People have that as their number one movie. For me, it's too sad. I'm not fond of it. And another one was the movie called The Express. It was the movie based on what was his running back up in Syracuse? So it wasn't Jim Brown. It was Ernie Davis.
Did he win the Heisman?
He was the running back. Yes. Yeah. Okay. He came after that, was a beast, but he ends up dying. He gets cancer. So he never gets to even play. He gets drafted to the Browns, but never even plays because the cancer just took over and he ends up dying. But that was a great movie as well. The acting in it was awesome. It actually was good football being played in the acting as well, which I'm always a big person. Like think about it. When we talk about acting in general and you talk about just sports to act in, football is difficult to do because it's not like you're only going to have 1 or 2 guys. You got to have a good amount of guys that know how to play it. It's not like basketball where anyone can just pick it up and do it. It's not like golf where, all right, it's less people around, so you don't have to have as many talented extras in the film. With football, it's 11 on 11, so you got to have enough guys that look like they know what they're doing to make it realistic for the guys that know how to do it. But my top 5, man, what I had Any Given Sunday at number 1. Like I said, I love that movie. I thought across the board, it hits everything. And being a person that's played in the NFL, it is very realistic. It was some things that happen in that movie. I'm like, I've seen some of that. I know what you're talking about here. But I just like the dynamic. And it wasn't cheesy. It wasn't over the top either. It was like anyone that was fortunate enough to play, it was like that. You know what it reminded me of? The TV show, oh my goodness. What was it? Ballers, right? Ballers was no.
See, I haven't seen that either. I heard that was amazing. I heard that's like amazing. That's on HBO, right?
It was a cool little series, with The Rock. But they had another football. I forgot the name of it. It actually was on ESPN before Monday Night Football came out, and it was a little bit too progressive. It looked just like Any Given Sunday, but they were showing not only the good, but the real bad when it comes to professional football players and stuff like that. So they kind of got rid of that. And obviously ESPN took over the Monday Night Football rights. That was a part of that whole conversation and that deal. But to me, man, Any Given Sunday is very close in terms of, now obviously the timing of everything is a little bit different, but it's still a very good and realistic movie in terms of just the way things operate in terms of, okay, this guy's injured. He has a 50% chance of being paralyzed from the neck down if he ever goes out here. But he has $1 million bonus if he goes out here and gets another sack. And that whole dynamic, that whole conversation. All right, this is the young guy who was the journeyman quarterback comes in. He becomes this hot thing. All right, should we pay him? Should we let him leave? All right, we got this all-war running back who's in a contract year, but now his touches are going down because the offense has changed because the new quarterback. So you could just see the different dynamics. And then how they are on the field, and then how it boils over to some of the off the field issues as well. And dude, I promise, I'm watching them. I'm just like, yep.
I feel bad I haven't seen it because it's a classic, you're explaining this to me and probably people that are listening or people that will torch me in the comments are like, dude, how haven't you seen this?
Yeah, dude, it's a dope movie, man. So that's why I have Any Given Sunday at number 1. And number 2, I have Friday Night Lights. I love the story of Boobie Miles and just that, was it Permian? I think that's how you say it. Texas football team. They're in Odessa, Texas, man. It's just a good story. Now, it's funny, though. When you watch the movie, the reason why I have it at 2 instead of 1, the movie, great acting. I mean, the hits in this movie, it's crazy. Like, you get everything. But the thing that I don't like is once I found out the real story, they kind of make the protagonist in this movie, in real life, they were the antagonists. They were technically the villains. But because, the story worked out for them, when they told it in this movie, they make it like, oh, that's the team that you really want to get behind and root for, when really, for me, it's like, I wouldn't have rooted for them. I would have definitely rooted for this other team. The team they lost in the championship, when you hear the backstory behind both, without a doubt, I never would have rooted for them. You know what I mean? But when you see the movie, you don't know the backstory. The perception is a little bit different. You're like, oh, okay, I see what you did here. Shout out to Hollywood. So that's why I had Friday Night Lights at number 2. And number 3, The Little Giants, man. It's the annexation of Puerto Rico, baby. I was going to ask you this
because you've seen more of these football movies. Little Giants at 10 seemed low to me.
Yeah. Little Giants is awesome, man. The annexation of Puerto Rico is literally my favorite football play. I tell people that all the time. And then after that, it's the backside Georgia reverse with Petey. Those are my plays. But it's just a great movie, and it's the nostalgia element of it. We all can relate to it.
I used to laugh so hard watching that.
Man, for me, I'm like between the dynamic of Spike, Becky, the Icebox, and then for me, anyone like in my book, obviously the most theory of life. Anyone that's read it, I talk about a story where I literally had a chick that was the Becky, the Icebox of when I was playing. I almost quit football behind her, bro. She destroyed me my first year of playing ball, bro. My dad literally, he tried, like, I was to the point where I was ready to quit because she would just destroy me, block me off the ball. I couldn't block her. I'm just like, bro, like, this sucks. Like, I don't want to play ball no more. And my dad was like, look, what I'll do is this to give me a little incentivizing, He says, I'll give you $1 for every flag that you get. Now, granted, I still got to go up against her and I still got to like beat her to get these flags. I might have made $2 the whole season, bro. but that was enough to motivate me to come back the next year. And then from there, obviously I got a lot better. But anytime I think of Little Giants and I think of Becky the Icebox, I'm like, oh yeah. I've had one of those before. That was not fun. But it's a dope movie, man. So that's why I have Little Giants up there at 3. Then at number 4, I have a movie. It's called The Program. So this is for my hardcore football movie buffs. This is one of those classics as well. Omar Epps is in it. He's young in the movie, man. But he's just talking about just a college program. And it's a marquee college program. I believe they're basing it loosely off of Boston College. But they have it where you have these 2 like stud linebackers, right? One is on steroids, though. Like legit, he has roid rage. You see how he reacts in some of these times. Then you have this other guy who comes from a broken home, but he's balling out because he's trying to make it to the NFL. And how his dynamic is, and some of the things that he says, oh yeah, I remember you. You the one who was talking about my sister. He started just snapping on the field like it's crazy. And then you got this young, talented freshman running back who's all world, but obviously has to deal with that whole dynamic as well. So it's a really good movie as well. But like I said, that was a little bit older. That came out early 90s, I want to say, for The Program. But that's another dope movie. And then at 5, I had Remember the Titans.
Okay,
because
I was going to say, you have to have Remember the Titans in your top 5. I was going to say, there's no way.
Love the storyline, love the movie. But as a whole, like I said, the football acting.
That's why you have the other 4 ahead of them.
Bad, bro. Yes. The football acting is bad in that thing, man. And I like the storyline better for The Program. Like, Remember the Titans, like I said, is a dope movie. And I'm a big Denzel Washington fan. But as a whole, I just thought The Program, I just like that type of movie. Like it was more for me. Whereas like the whole civil rights and the social injustice stuff, like I live that. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to see a movie on it because it's not saying that it's a bad movie. It's a great movie and it's important to tell the story. But for me, I'm like, man, I've been dealing with this since I was a kid. I don't want to constantly be reminded of it because it's only going to piss me off. And I don't want to be pissed off today. You know what I mean? So that's why it's down a little bit low on my list as well, man. As you can see, any movies that deal with like stuff that bring up bad feelings or bad memories, like, don't mess up my day. I like to stay positive. Because another one that's up here is Concussion. They didn't have it in the top 10, but that's another like really good football movie. And that's based right out of here in Pittsburgh where they were talking about, Mike Webster and stuff like that. So when it's certain movies where it's like, it's a dope movie. You would watch this movie. It's a top 20 movie. But for me personally, if I'm picking 5 to watch, I don't want to mess up my day with that. So yeah.
What are the chances I watch any of these movies?
Man, you probably watch one of them tops. Yeah.
Any given Sunday?
And I don't think, but no, I don't think it's going to be somebody like, I don't think it's you going to find it. I think it's going to have to just be you're around somebody and it's on, you know what I mean? Or just on TV. Yeah. But that's your temperament, but we know this. Okay.
I want to. It's one of those things. I want to because I want to have a list. I want to like have a full array of, okay, I've watched all these movies. Now I can actually have my top 5 and say which one deserves to be in and which one deserves to be out. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, that's something I say. And then you have other things that come up as weeks and months go by.
Listen,
you're just like, I'll get to it some point, and then I never do.
Deke, you are the guy with great inspiration, intentions, but the execution, your intentions and your inspiration and your thoughts are always great. Like if we need to create ideas, I have the guy I'm talking to.
Yes,
amazing. The execution, it's like you gonna have 30 different things, and it's like, all right, you gonna try to start 30 things, and then before you know it, maybe 2 of these things really go through. That's but that's what I'm like. Yo,
because here's the thing, I ain't tripping on the back. I say I want to watch all these movies at the same time. I probably have 20 or 30 ideas in the back of my mind
that
I want to do in this next month or however many weeks. Where it's just like those movies are going to take 2-3 hours of my time. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's where
what's going to end up happening though, right? I can see it right now. This can be the perfect scenario. 2021 season is back. Life is back normal. Everything is good. We're flying to either Green Bay or Buffalo.
Is that on the schedule next year? Buffalo is.
Yeah, we already have. Yeah, they already have. Yeah. Buffalo, Green Bay. Jeez, I literally just had this up here the other day. Yeah, they already have like the home and aways, but yeah, we have some really good away team locations.
We probably have the toughest.
Oh, Kansas City
year,
as well.
Right?
Yeah, we go to Kansas City. You know, I don't care about that because we say it's tough right now, and then week 4 happens, and we're like, oh yeah, this schedule's easy. Who cares? Seriously, think about it. We talked about what our schedule was supposed to be this year, right? And then how it was supposed to be easy, and then it was supposed to be hard, and then we would say ours is easy, but the Ravens all of a sudden is hard because of the timing in which they played these same teams. That's why I was like, man, hard.
We definitely won in 2008 with the toughest schedule in the league. We won the Super Bowl, so maybe we'll rise to the occasion.
Yeah, and I think after the season, it's easy to go back and look and say who had the toughest schedule. I think if you would have gone back to that 2008 year, though, and listened to who was projecting to have the toughest season, I don't think it would have been the same.
Yeah,
that's my thing.
You're right. Because the Titans, weirdly, that year with Kerry Collins, they were like 12-4 or 13-3, and we lost to them in the regular season. So you're right. I don't know if Titans were actually projected to be that good.
Yeah, man. So that's to me is like that whole thing with that, man. But I do think, like I said, the way it's going to work out is this, man. We're going to be going to one of these road games, Kansas City, Green Bay, Buffalo. Obviously, you got your regular division foes. We're going to go to one of these, head into a tailgate like we do, and we'll be on the plane. And on the plane, they'll have movies.
Okay.
And one of these movies will be up there for free. And because we'll be up there mandatory for 2 hours, nothing to do on the way out. On the way back is different. On the way back, you like to get a little ahead with the work with the film and stuff like that. But going out there, it's a lot looser. We know this. You'll put the movie on then and watch. And that's why I think you'll watch maybe 1 or 2 tops. But it's going to be in those type of scenarios where there's nothing else available. We can't go anywhere. There's no other distractions. just watch the movie and go.
The top 2 I should check out, though, are Any Given Sunday and Friday Night Lights. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, for me, yes, absolutely, man. And not the TV show Friday Night Lights, because they have a TV show version of it as well. It's like a spinoff. The TV show, to me, isn't as good. The movie was dope. But I want to say the movie came out, I was in high school. I remember literally my either junior or senior of high school, my football team, like that was the big thing. When that movie dropped, like every football team went to go see it because, it's awesome. Like the speeches that are given, it's a dope movie. And you could just see the different dynamics of the all-world guy who has everything going for him, doesn't work as hard. Things happen to him. Then you see the guy who isn't as talented but works hard. Then you got, because it's Texas and it's generational, you got like the dad who was a state champion and he wants his son to be state champion because his dad was, Like it was generational. It's like, whoa, man, if you're not going to do this, like I'm obsessing over you. So he becomes a little bit abusive in the scenario. So you see all these different things playing out. And then you got the other kid who's like just trying to get a scholarship. Another guy who's just trying to play just for the love of the game. And they're still dealing with the pressure of it and everything surrounding it. it's a dope movie though, bro. Dope movie, man.
We'll see. I'll let you know when I check one of these movies out.
Hey, look, I'm just glad that you are at least watching the hockey highlights consistently. You feel me? That's all. Baby steps, baby. We'll get to the movies. We got time for that. Just one thing at a time. Just keep that part going.
I thought the pen stock was pretty decent, right?
No, it was. Well, and the thing is this: it's like, understandably, like you could go more in depth when you watch more of it, but general understanding is key, because how many people didn't even look at the highlight? I mean, you talk about the goal scoring, a lot of people didn't even realize that if they didn't watch the game. So that's another thing that it's like, hey man, we just reporting the news, baby. Difference is you can't tell yourself all the time, man. But I do like when you're telling yourself a little bit, because it gives extra.
It's fine. It's just being real. About. But here's the thing: I've been recording my reaction to it on my YouTube, so that's kind of like I can't really get around that. It's either I record the reaction without seeing it beforehand, so it's just like, oh shit, this happened, and then I have to rewatch it again, or I just watch the highlights. So it's like it's one of those things.
I like it. I can definitely dig it, bro.
I feel like if you watch it before, can you watch the highlights again and have a reaction to it if you already watched it beforehand? Maybe I'll try it one of these times, see how it works.
It's weird because, like, for me, I don't watch the highlights because I've already seen, like, when I'm watching
That's what I mean. I typically
live,
don't either,
but
right? If you already watched it.
But think about at the same time, when we watched the goal first happen, the reason why we don't watch the highlights is because they show the goal scored 5 or 6 times right when we just saw it. So we've already seen it enough. We've reacted to it multiple times. And now it's kind of like, all right, I'm done. So I do think you can watch the highlight and then turn around and still record the reaction, because it's no different the first time you see it. It's like, all right, that was dope. And you see, and you're like, oh,
I missed it. I missed this.
Yeah, like it's multiple things. So I think that, you can definitely do that though.
All right, we'll test it out.
Yes, indeed, man. Yes, indeed. So I like it though, man. But it's a little fun, just additional, you know what I mean? Off season, give little people a little something for their ears, for the culture, man.
This was an hour and a half almost. This was fun.
I like it, man. So yeah, man. Hopefully y'all liked it as well, man. I definitely want y'all to, in the comment section, man, talk a little bit, man, about this conversation, about these movies, man, and let Deke needs a list of movies. Sports movies, all right? Football movies. I can't even just say sports, because when we start talking sports, we're going to get into these Blue Chips and all these other different Hoosiers basketball movies and stuff. So we're going to save that. Strictly football movies right now for my man Deke, all right? And help him out, please.
Here's the thing. There's no timeline on it, because actually my track record on this whole movie watching stuff, I could go back to whenever I first started working out of college in an office job downtown. A lot of people called me the dude from The Big Lebowski. They were like, dude, you're exactly like the dude. You need to watch this. You need to watch the movie. They kept saying this. It literally took me like 6 months to finally watch it. So that's where I'm at. But then I was like, after I watched it, I'm like, yeah, that's a compliment. Call me the dude. So I appreciate that. Yeah. So whatever movies, whenever I get to them, I get to them.
There it is.